Let's redo or do another problem. Problem number 28. Same thing. They give us an equation, 2x plus y is equal to 25, and we've already established that this is written in standard form. Standard form is great because it allows us to calculate the x and y intercepts. The problem is that we're asked to put this in a graphing calculator. You could use the one on Mr. Adams' website, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, or we could use your calculator. I like to use the calculators, show you guys, because if you take the ACT, you can't take my website with you, right? Although it works, you could double check your homework. So let's learn how to do that. So the first thing I need to do is let's graph it. Can we enter it in that way? No. So what do we got to change it to? Slope-intercept form. So to change to the slope-intercept form, we're going to have to move this 2x over to the other side. So we subtract 2x from both sides. And this is y equals negative 2x plus 25. Cool. What's the 2 represent? The negative 2? Slope. So this represents the slope, which is delta y over delta.
35.
Is it 35? Did I write it down wrong? Oh, you're right, it is. 35 and 35. I'm not awake yet. I should have like first hour prep so I could drink coffee and just relax and ease into the day. So anyways, so this is my rise over run, so that means I have a negative 2 over 1, right? Because negative 2 is the same as negative 2 over 1. Change in y, when we say negative, which direction do we go for y? Down, right? So this means that we're going to go down 2 units, and then the 1 represents the change in x. Now, what is the positive direction in x? To the left or right? Right. Okay, good. It's good to know that you guys aren't awake either. So what does the 35 represent? The y-intercept. Cool, cool, cool. So this right here is the y-intercept. Now let's graph it. If I did my work right, graphing it should be easy. Let's clear this out. And so it's negative 2x plus 35. Now, now that I've got that in there, I want to set the window. So here's where I'm going to need your guys' help. We want to incorporate the x and y intercept. So if I hit window, what do you think my minimum x value should be? Negative 1's good. Now, what about the x? Is 10 big enough? No? What do you think it should be? Now keep in mind what we're going to do is this graph, we're going to start at 35 and then we're going to come down to and go over 1, down to over 1. So we have to come down 35 steps before we get to the x-axis, 2 at a time. And every time we come down 2, we go over 1. So how far do you think we need to go in the x direction? You're right, 10 is not big enough. 20, right? It should be about 17.5, right? That's where it should kind of cross. So we're going to do 20. That's a good guess. All right, now for the y minimum, what do you guys suspect we should do? Negative 1. What should the y max be? 36. Just a little bit above the 35. If we hit graph, oh man, that's perfect. Now we already know what the y-intercept is, but now how do I find the x-intercept? Second trace, because it says calc above trace, so we really want the calc menu. And we're going to calculate the 0, because the 0 of the function is the x-intercept. It's also called the root. It's also called the solution. So if we hit that, it's going to say the left boundary. So what the calculator is asking me to do is to move this cursor just a little bit to the left of where it crosses the x-axis. And it's kind of hard to see because we got our window so tight. So I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to hit enter. Now it's going to ask for the right boundary, so I'm going to go a little bit to the right and hit enter, and then it's going to ask me to guess, and then I'm going to hit enter. Crosses at 17.5. And that is why they call me the wizard.